So Declan, we're speaking about, what, 36 hours after the Wolves game? Head still spinning a little bit? You're still processing that?
Yeah, really, really difficult to process in the moment. I think right now I processed it, digested it. Obviously, because we have such a big game on Sunday, we can't dwell on the other night too much. But from our standards, it was to be 2-0 up with half an hour to play. You know, you've seen us in games this season, we either go on to win that 3 or 4, or we see the game out of 2-0. So to come back and for them to come back and draw 2-2 was sickening and very, very disappointing in the end.
Can you put your finger on what happened in that last sort of half an hour?
We just stopped doing the basics.
Why?
I don't know. It's easy for people to say, oh, they're doing this, they're doing that. In a game of football, it swings both ways all the time. We ended up getting into the game they wanted to play, which was duels, long balls, giving them silly fouls. They kept putting the ball in the box, so we're constantly on the back foot. We didn't really get a foothold in the game after the goal, which is what's disappointing, because at 2-0 up, you think we're going to walk away with it. Yeah. But look, it's one of them things. Mistakes happen in football. It's part of the journey that we're on. It's never going to be like plain sailing every single week. Obviously, it was a real kick in the teeth because it was 3 points that were there for you. But that doesn't stop what we want to go for and what we want to achieve, and that's why, yesterday I was still thinking about the game, but I've come in today and I feel, really more relaxed about it, just because, not about the result, but just in terms of my mindset and things like that.
But you have to move on, right?
Yeah, you have to move on, and obviously with the game that's coming next and the week after, we need to be ready for that.
When you've had a bad day or a disappointing result, do you have a process for moving on? Like, what are you like after the game? How are you the next day? How do you handle it?
The manager's really, really good at calming down situations. You see a lot of talk of what's it going to be like in the changing room? What are players going to be saying to each other? Like, us as players, trust me, if you were in there the other night, you would see how much it means to us. Yeah. And that's the level we need to be at, because if you want to win stuff, you need to be able to demand stuff of each other and say truths in the moment, I've had them done to me, other players have had them done to themselves in their time, and that's just part of trying to build a winning culture. And I think that's where the manager, like I said, comes in, because he comes in always from different angles and puts a perspective on things, and is really calm. And obviously yesterday we had a day off to clear our minds, obviously, and then now we're going into Spurs, and we're going to be ready.
So go on then, you touched on it there. Take us into that changing room in the moments after that Wolves game. It was volatile, was it?
I think from the moment I come in to the moment where we're at now, I've seen a big difference in terms of after games and the mentality of the boys, in terms of if things ain't right, things will get brought up and things will get said in the moment, even if it's heated. But 5-10 minutes after that, you'll shake hands and, it's over. But that's what it's about. I've seen documentaries on top teams over the years and how they push and demand from each other, and when bad moments come, saying something and getting something off your chest that you feel can actually help the situation. So I think the other night that was needed, because at 2-0 we should have went on to win the game. We know the position we're in, but like I said, we've all just come in this morning, and we're men. We shook hands the other night. It was disappointing. It was not nice, but we've come in now and we're ready to go for Spurs. So.
And what would you say about like form in general at the moment? 2 wins in 7.
Yeah.
Like, how do you explain that?
Yeah, it's obviously not looking good on paper. My thing is, I've looked yesterday at the results that we've had and the goals we've conceded, and I think the goals that we're conceding were self-inflicted goals. I could go through so many goals, but just where we'd make a mistake and we give the game back into the opponent, whether it's from like a second phase or like the first phase of a corner where we're usually so strong.
Yeah, is that become a habit? Letting teams back in?
It's not become a habit, because it's been our strong point. Our defence has been incredible. Everyone's in sync from front to back. But there comes points in the season you ain't going to be perfect for the whole season. What we was doing at the start of the season, there was talks of can they go on to do clean sheets, and there was never any thought of that from us, because this is the Premier League now. Like, you're playing against the best players week in, week out, and any team can surprise you. Wolves. Like, everyone would have thought, oh, Arsenal going to win comfortably at Wolves. They have good players. And that's why you've got to be switched on 24/7 in this league, because you can get hurt at any time.
I suppose what a lot of people are looking at it at the moment and thinking, because over the last few years you've not got over the line, is the weight of that, is the pressure of that playing a part in the performances and in the results? What do you think?
Me playing, no. Like, this is just another day. It's another game. Like, of course we're first, and outside noise and fans from other teams, people are going to talk it up. We're on our own journey, we're on our own path, and we fully believe in each other here. We want to do it because we've got such a good core group, such quality players now that we can do it, and it shows that then we can flick a page in terms of people talking about that mentality.
Well, one thing that stuck with me after the Man United game, the manager talking about, look at the position that we've earned for ourselves. We have to enjoy this.
Yeah.
This might be completely wrong, because obviously I'm not inside it. It does sometimes feel at the moment like you're not enjoying it. Is that wrong? Is it right?
No, we enjoy every day. Like, every day coming in here with these teammates, like the manager, the coaching staff, I can tell you now, it's unreal. Like, you enjoy it. Of course you do. This is our job. You know, we're playing for Arsenal. You know, final of the cup, next round of the FA Cup, final in the first phase of the Champions League, first in the Premier League. So we need some perspective about where we are, but also we need to look a bit bigger to understand that if we carry on doing what we're doing in terms of the results, it isn't going to last. So it's on us as players to pick that up, because we have it in us to win every game. I believe that. I genuinely believe with this group, with this players, what we've done here before, I can see us. We could go on a run and easily win games. But it's on us, you know. It's going to be switched on. You're going to be ready for everything that's thrown at you, because that's what's needed for these final games.
As I think the manager said after the game, straight after Wolves, you know, is the next game the perfect game?
100%. I think North London derby is always special. You know, I've been able to play in a few of them now, and I understand the rivalry, understand, you know, who you're playing up against, what it means. And yeah, on Sunday, it isn't just going to be about football. It's going to be about how much you want it as well. You know, you're going away to Spurs. They have a new manager. Obviously, yeah, they've had loads of injuries, but it's going to be a game both of us are going to want to win. And there'll be a lot of quality on the pitch, but that day it's all in your mind. You know, how much do you really want it? And yeah, you've got to fight for it. And trust me, I want it. So yeah, we're going to be ready.
I feel like it's not that other games don't suit you, but it's kind of your type of match. You know, like a battle, a fight, something you can sort of chuck yourself into, lead from the front.
Yeah.
Are they? You relish every game, I'm sure,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
You look at this one and think, I'll have a bit of this.
Yeah, definitely. I think getting to play away as well. I've only been able to do that once for Arsenal at that Spurs stadium. So look, it's going to be tense, because obviously we're going away to there. Like I said, they got the new manager, but we've got to be ready for everything that's thrown at us, and we've got to gain that energy off the crowd. You know, from within, you've got to think every fan in there, other than the Arsenal fans, you know, they're trying to beat us today. And
do you love that?
Yeah, you have to. I think, you know, you've got to enjoy these moments, for sure. But I believe in this team. I believe in this squad, and I know what we can do and what we're capable of. So yeah, we're going to be ready.
Do you think the team performance in the first game against Spurs was your best, or maybe your most fluent performance of the season?
I think it was a really good performance, because we dominated them in every phase of play. The high press, you know, mid block, defensive block. We was really good that day. It was probably one of our best performances of the season. But you also get that extra energy when it's a London derby, when it's Spurs, when you're at home. It gets spoken about so much. So that result that day didn't surprise me.
I wanted to ask you about Eze, because you obviously know what it's like being a new player coming in, big fee, and having to impress. He was unbelievable that day, but it's probably been more difficult since. What do you see from him, and how big is that challenge when you make the step up? You had a very similar thing.
Yeah, it's a massive step, and he's coped with it amazingly well. Even though it looks like he's not played a lot of games, he has played so many games for us already, and he's done amazing for us. and his mindset and the way he trains, the way he looks after his body, the way he is with the boys. I've never seen a player settle so quickly with lads like Ez has done. So that's credit to him. But I see his quality every day, and we have a special player on our hands, and it's down to us and obviously down to him to keep getting the best out of himself, because he's more than capable of doing anything on a football pitch. Some of the stuff he does with the ball on a pitch, you're just like, how do you even do that? He just glides with the ball beautifully. So, yeah, we need to keep getting the best out of him. He's done amazing for us so far. But there's much more to come. It's only his first season. So, yeah, much more to come.
Also wanted to ask you about how football has changed. Premier League has changed. How much has the league changed in the last, or even during the course of this season?
Yeah, so much. I think this is my 10th season in the Prem. I would probably say this has probably been one of probably is the toughest in terms of that it's been.
Do you mean the quality, the physicality, both?
I think the quality, yeah. I think a lot of people have an opinion that the Prem is not where it is. The Prem is not where it's at the minute. But you could ask any player in the Premier League, they'd tell you the opposite. I think a lot of people, the game has changed in terms of probably physicality, duels, set pieces, trying to gain an advantage wherever you can.
Yeah,
that's where it's changed. And in terms of the quality, every time you play against a team now, every team's got 2 or 3, 4 players who have world-class ability and are very good. And on their day, if you're not switched on, they can punish you. So this year's not been easy. It's not been a walk in the park, We've done really well because as a collective, our 11 starters, the players that have come off the bench have all chipped in and helped us with goals in the moment. So yeah, I think that's why it's been tough, but the Premier League is it's definitely changing.
And Sunday will be your 100th Premier League appearance for Arsenal. I mean, firstly, that's gone quick, hasn't it? But also in so many ways, in the way you've progressed, become, I think, a more versatile player, talked about whenever there's discussions about the best player in your position. Do you feel like in so many ways it's just gone, as well as it could have done, really?
Yeah, definitely. I think I've just tried to work as hard as I can and give it everything I've got. I watched a good podcast of Steven Gerrard with Rio Ferdinand the other week, and he was just talking about himself as a midfielder and what he was, and he didn't put him down to one thing. He just said he's a midfielder that could have done a bit of everything, but he was the best at doing everything. And I think he's someone that I love to look up to and look forward to, just because of how he was on the pitch, his demeanour, how he took games by the scruff of the neck, the fight he showed, the passion. And over the years, I've tried to watch him as much as possible, and I think I've started to grow into that much more. Still a long way off before I hit his level. But yeah, I think he's someone I've really tried to emulate since I've moved into this box-to-box role, and it's really helped me. So I want to keep going. 100 games for Arsenal in the Premier League is, it's special. So yeah, I'm really happy.
And do you know what? I think back to all the interviews I've done with you over the years, and you've always said there's much more to come, and you've been right. And do you still feel that?
Yeah, 100%. I think every year when the season ends, I look at myself and I think, where can you? My dad used to say it to me: how are you going to get better again? How are you not going to stall that other people go past you? And you need to have this mindset that you're just going to keep getting better and better. And I think consistency plays a massive part in my game. Knowing how to play well, knowing when to do the right things right. So yeah, look, I think there is much more to come from me. I think this season's been amazing. Still so much more football to be played. But I do think I can still go to more levels. So yeah, exciting times to come.
And very lastly, we've sort of said it's gone almost perfectly. I mean, we know the one thing to add, don't we? It's the trophies.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's what we all want as players. That's what the manager wants. I think we're so driven and hungry to try and win something. I think if you come in and see us, there's a group of boys here that, like I said, the mindset's changed in terms of we know what we want and we know we're in a great position to go and do it, but it's on us. So a big fight coming up over the next 2-3 months, but one we're going to relish.
Good man.
Top man.